Welcome to the channel, everybody. This is the most requested video I have ever had on my channel. People have been dying to see Cal since I posted the review and unboxing and review of The Mandalorian last night. So here we are. We're going to open Cal. We're going to take a look at him and his little explorer droid, I think is what they called it. I just got done doing my research, watching the gameplay video of Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, 13-minute gameplay video. I'm impressed. I want to play this game, and I don't have time to play games anymore. So I'm excited now about this figure. Before, maybe like an hour ago, I knew that this was the character for the game, but I knew nothing else about him. Now I'm excited. Now I'm a fan. So let's really quickly take another spin. Put him in the middle and take him for a spin here. Give you an idea of what to expect on Force Friday. Force Friday here in North America is October 4th. Should be global. Don't quote me though. You'll have to go and do your research, do your homework. So he escaped Order 66. So the game takes place after Order 66, and his droid is BD1. And he is Black Series number 93. Cal Kestis, I think is how you pronounce the last name. The family name. Why do Jedi retain their family name? Why is it Qui-Gon Jinn instead of just Qui-Gon? Someone knows the answer to this question. You're probably an even bigger Star Wars fan than me if you know the answer to that. Please comment below why Jedi keep their family name. Also, if you're curious, if you have the means of checking inventory on Force Friday, you want to know how many they get, where this figure is, that is the UPC for Cal. We'll get up close on the packaging before we get the box cutter out. We have a nice little piece of artwork here. Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. As I was learning about this game, it's interesting that it started out in development as a completely different game. Like, it wasn't intended to be a Star Wars game. EA, I think it was, EA liked what they saw, and here we are. Now it's a Star Wars game. But if you haven't checked it out yet and you are expecting a Padawan, this kid is insanely powerful for just a Padawan. Alright. Yeah, so be prepared. I'm not going to spoil anything for you, but this guy packs a punch. One of my favorite parts of the video. We're going to do it. We've got two pieces of tape on the top. We're going to cut them. We're going to get this guy out of the package. Here we go. There's one. There's two. There's no turning back now. The cardboard has been flexed. We get another little thing of warnings. I'm sure it's identical to the one we got with The Mandalorian. Yes, choking hazard, small parts. Not for children under 3 years. No other information, just that. The box is now empty. Again, the cardboard little insert thing. There's nothing else for us to look at in there. Here he is. Out of the package. His droid is named BD. He calls it BD in the footage that I saw. Let's start with BD. BD. So they've put a little cutout for BD's feet. So that's fine. He kind of just falls out of there. Wow, we're gonna have to review this droid. It's got some articulation to it. But that's actually nice because The droid is quite mobile, quite active in the gameplay trailer that we've seen so far. That is a very unique lightsaber handle. It looks like it used to be a double-bladed lightsaber. We'll get in closer on that in a minute. Let's get Cal out of here. We did it. He's free from his plastic prison. Do a quick once-over on him. Presumably, in a perfect world, creating figures like this should be easier for Hasbro because they're starting from a digital model. Instead of having to wrangle an actor, a talent, into a scanning booth or somehow sculpting their face, just having the source material already be digital, I think it leads to really good results. The only challenge then is the hair. How do you, like, when they build the hair, it's a completely different process than it is for doing head sculpts and faces and things. Interesting. I'm just kind of soaking it all in and trying to place like these different textures and these pieces. And why does he have an iPod on his wrist? Or is that a Zune or whatever that? And why does he have maybe that's just a like water canteen thing. Very, very interesting. I want to highlight really quick the elbows here, single jointed on both sides. They've got this interesting design that we saw in The Mandalorian. The only kind of indication that we have of which way they should go is if I was to articulate it this way, to move it this way, then it would just be like a square piece sticking out like we saw in The Mandalorian. So presumably we're supposed to be articulating it this way. But look at that. Look at the paint rubs already coming right off on that elbow. And I feel like I'm breaking it. Like I'm putting so much torque on it. Okay, there we go. Now it kind of clicked in place. But look at that. Now we've got paint missing on the elbow joint. That's unfortunate. You don't want to see that on a figure nowadays. Not in 2019. Like, that's really unfortunate. Now let's try this elbow. Let's see. I was messing with this one before I hit record, but maybe this one will be a little easier. Yes, because it's in the color that it was injection molded in. Same color. So this one was a little easier to get into position. Single jointed elbows on this figure. Before we continue with Cal, let's take a look at BD. So he's got a socket, ball and socket to articulate his head. Obviously can look all the way around because it's just on a little ball there. Nothing else on his head that we can see. I'm going to call them his shoulders or maybe his hips. We'll call these legs. His hips, same thing. It looks like we've got teeny tiny little balls that plug into sockets so that we've got some movement this way, which also affords us articulation this way so he can be running. And then he's got just a single little spot for the knees and then nothing on the feet. So he's pretty much going to live like this, like a tiny little chicken walker, ATST. So that's pretty much him. What I saw in the gameplay footage that I watched was that he spends a lot of time here. And with the Mandalorian having his weapon mounted on his shoulder, I was kind of like, oh, well, maybe they're going to do that for No, no, it's I don't see it. If there's something I'm missing, some way to attach him. Oh, hey, there's something I'm missing. If there's some way to attach this droid here, I don't see what it is. I'm gonna have to I don't know. I don't know. He's just gonna have to like sit on his head or something. But the look you're going for is you want something like this if you're gonna match what you're seeing in the game. I noticed there were questions when photos of the packaging were showing up on social. People noticed how long the lightsaber hilt is, and we get a little bit of a better look at it now. It does appear to have been a double-bladed lightsaber at some point in its life. You can see that it's got some remnants of a hilt that used to be probably extended on the other end, which makes sense. We've definitely seen that in artwork, concept art, other video game, other sources. I'm trying to remember from Revenge of the Sith if we saw a double-bladed lightsaber in the Jedi Temple. My mind is not showing me those images, so I can't recall. But that's what this appears to be. It used to be in my opinion, a double-bladed lightsaber. So there you go. Mystery maybe solved, maybe. One other comment on the lightsaber: there doesn't appear to be any attachment points to clip it onto anything. In the game footage that we've gotten so far, he's turning off the lightsaber a lot and storing it, hanging it off of his belt somehow, but we don't get that in this figure. And as I'm thinking about it, I'm thinking to myself, I haven't tried to remove the blade yet. That is something I'm sure everyone will want to know. Does the blade come out? I don't... Yes, it does. The blade is removable. You've got the newer kind of style nub. So the blade is removable. However, where do you hang this now? There's not really anywhere to hang it. I guess you could like tuck it in here. But that, yeah. I don't know. All right, let's take a look at articulation. So we've got... I don't think we've got a neck. Oh, okay. Same as the Mandalorian. We've got a swivel down in the neck, down there. And not much... there's a little bit of play. I don't think that's actually an articulation point up and down. Maybe just a little bit, but it's mostly in the collarbone area again to get some of those different looks to him. Something I noticed as I was reviewing, just taking a look at his outfit, he actually has butterfly joints for his shoulders. But because of how thick this plastic is, it's going to be hard to take advantage of that. So he's got that butterfly articulation, which is pretty nice. I think that's awesome. Your standard other shoulder articulation, a swivel up and down, and then a swivel this way. I guess a pivot up and down. Single jointed elbows, as we've already discussed. We don't see anything else until you get to the hands, the wrists. Swivel, this hand articulates in this direction, similar to the Mandalorian. This hand articulates in this direction. The butterfly joint is nice. You can get a little bit more room, and he can tap his iPod. We've got a ab swivel. I thought we were getting articulation at the waist. It looks like we do, but we don't. There's nothing at the waist. Even though this belt leads us to believe that there is a gap there, it's not going to happen. So this is it, and be careful if you're doing anything too crazy because, oh, is it? Look at that. Thank you, Hasbro. You guys are awesome. Don't worry, you won't break it. It's just it kind of sitting in there. There's a little groove in there. You're not going to break it. That's awesome. I appreciate the thought that goes into that. Probably just sparing themselves from having to do returns on it. But anyway, good range of motion on the hips. He's going to need it. He's got to kick a lot of butt in this game. He's got to deal with the second sister. That's not a spoiler. Everyone knows that already. We do get the... Oh, I guess we could kick forward. We should try to kick back. We don't get much there. Softer pouches. They're not too obtrusive. I am kind of disappointed with... I'm guessing this is a spanner of some kind because it's bent. And I don't think there's any way to avoid that because of how he's situated in the plastic and the bubble. This area here is just... Like, good luck getting one that's not bent. And then it's so thin, I don't think you'd be able to straighten it. The hairdryer trick, I think, is not going to work for this. But please prove me wrong. We've got a swivel at the thigh on both thighs. We've got double jointed knees. Like so. We've got no other articulation until you get to the ankles. And we can point our toes nicely and up nicely. And of course, we've got a little bit of the ankle pivot. So I think, yes, that just about does it for articulation for Cal and BD1. I think we can move on to some comparisons. First up, we have Bespin Luke from the first Black Series orange card, I guess they call it. Number 11, Luke. He's really short compared to Cal. I'm actually surprised. I haven't had this Luke out for a while, but he's significantly shorter. More than half a head. Not quite a full head, but more than half a head shorter than Cal. Fast forward a little bit to the Blue Line Black Series. Number 3, we've got Luke in his Jedi, Return of the Jedi outfit when he goes to confront Vader and the Emperor. A little bit taller than Bespin Luke, only half a head shorter than Cal, but I'm still surprised at the height difference. This Cal kid must be really, really tall. Don't worry, these aren't actually Black Series Stormtroopers. They're actually Black Series Luke and Han in Stormtrooper outfits. But if you play the game, you get to slice up loads of Stormtroopers, it seems. For you import enthusiasts, here is Cal next to the SH Figuarts Rogue One Stormtrooper. Same one from the Mandalorian video. And here's Cal next to 40th Darth Vader. I have to presume they're going to put Vader in the game. I don't know. I don't know enough about it. I haven't seen any leaks or spoilers or anything, but if Order 66 has taken place, Darth Vader looks like this already. So, I don't know. That's my fan wish. I'd love to see those clips or that cutscene if they ever put Vader in the game. Here's Cal and BD lined up with R2 and 3PO. Give you an idea, droid lovers I'm sure would love to know a little size comparison. I've got BD, I think, in just a pretty standard pose. I think if I tried to make him stand up any taller, he'd fall over backwards. And he's right about at C-3PO's knee, so if you're curious. And for pure, sheer curiosity, here's what Cal looks like next to The Mandalorian, next to Boba Fett. Is Boba Fett in this game? Who knows? Who knows? And here's Cal squared off against Archive Wave Darth Maul. And from what I've seen so far in the footage, yes, Cal could definitely take on Darth Maul. While I'm thinking about it, though, let's compare lightsabers really quick. Because Darth Maul has a double-bladed lightsaber. Just for comparison, if you guys are curious. So, I think the emitter's probably right about there. So I'm resting them against each other, and that's what you get. So if I was to line them up this way, Cal's lightsaber the blade is much thicker. That's what you get if you line them up this way. And then if we put the other half of Maul's lightsaber back on, I kind of think it would be like this. I'm kind of trying to guess based on this little indentation here that would be right where the emitter starts, but I'm not entirely sure. I'm not a lightsaber expert by any means. There. Yeah. Not sure. Not sure. The lightsaber is much longer than Darth Maul's, but maybe Darth Maul's was a bit short as a single-bladed lightsaber, but there you go, if you're curious about the lightsabers. And if you've seen the gameplay footage so far, you know that there are Wookiees involved in the storyline. So here he is next to 40th anniversary Chewbacca, and Chewie is proportionally huge, as you'd expect, but yeah, looks pretty good. Another comparison inspired by what I've seen in the game, we have the K2SO figure, Rogue One, red card number 24 from the Black Series, but you just pretend it's not K2SO and it's the one that he has to fight, or I guess you have to fight. Whatever these are called, I forget what these are called. Imperial Security Droid. Yes, that makes sense. Yes, I opened this just for this video. You're welcome. Alright, that about wraps things up here. Your first look at Cal Kestis from the upcoming Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. The video game comes out November, I want to say 15th. Pretty sure that's right, but that's a look at Cal and BD1. I like this figure. This is a really, really nice figure. I love the butterfly joints. I wish the vest didn't impede the articulation. I don't know why he's got an iPod on his wrist, but very, very cool figure. I like the lightsaber too. Really, really nice. Alright guys, thank you so much for joining me. If you want me to do more of these, please hit that subscribe button. If you want to know as soon as they go live, tap the notification bell. Yeah, let me know in the comments below what you want to see next. I do have the Black Series Off-World Jawa. I also have 3 of the Vintage Collection Force Friday figures, 3 3/4 figures that I could do as well. Let me know. Thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate you being here. Be excellent to each other. We will see you next time.